Hi everyone, my name is Angela. This is Paperbacks Galore, and today is the start of a new reading vlog. I'm going to be reading two new fantasy releases, both of which happen to be whimsical, based on folklore, and have cottagecore vibes. So stay tuned to see my thoughts on these two books, and I hope you enjoy. Hi y'all, this is the start of a new reading vlog. Hopefully future Angela will film an intro where I look a little nicer, a lot nicer than I do right now. But I have my Kindle and right now I'm gonna sit down and look through all of the ARC titles that I have and see which new release is calling to me. I am in the mood to read something like fun and light, I think. So probably a romance, possibly a fantasy. So I'm gonna just like say all the ones that I have. Okay, so I have This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which literally came out today. I have The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is like a fantasy mystery. That's an option. I have The Truth According to Ember, which is an indigenous romance, which I think is I might be wrong, but I heard that it's the first ever traditionally published book, either like by an indigenous author or like about indigenous characters, which is so crazy, but also so cool that it's happening. That one doesn't come out until August, so I don't think I'm gonna pick that one. The Silence Factory by Bridget Collins also doesn't come out for a while, but I'm super excited for that one. I literally just finished this today. It was 5 stars, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of dark, which is not what I'm in the mood for. Ooh, okay, I have Where the Dark Stands Still, which is like Polish folklore, fantasy, romance. Okay, I'm gonna read the first couple like sentences of a few. I know like normal people will say like, I'm gonna read the first chapter of a book. I can't read the whole chapter. Like literally it only takes me a few sentences. Usually when I'm like finding my next read, like I read a few sentences and it's like, that's the one. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm reading this one. See, I told you, it's just something that like, I just read it and I'm like, yes, my brain can handle that. There's like a Polish word on like the first sentence and I'm like, I need to know what that means. I need to know if that's like a real festival. Like I'm gonna use this opportunity to like learn things that I should know about Poland because I'm Polish, but I'm not Polish enough to know things. Okay, so I'm gonna go get cozy on the couch and start reading this book. And I haven't said yet how long the vlog is gonna go. I don't know. I'm either gonna end it after like a neat amount of time that feels right, or I'm gonna end it after I've finished like X amount of books, probably 2 or 3. But I'm super excited. I hope I like it. If I like it, or like, okay, if I love it, I'm probably gonna buy the hardcover book because it is so beautiful. And my book buying ban is only really for unread books. So like I'm allowed to buy myself a book if I've already read it. So there we go. Okay, actually, speaking of new books, we're gonna do book haul because I just bought some new books the other day and I need to show them off. I bought a box set of Anne of Green Gables. This is the first one. The second one. Third one. The fourth one, which I think is my favorite cover. The fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one, and the eighth one. I am thinking about rereading these / reading some of these for the first time. So I'm actually not positive which ones. I've definitely read the first 3, 100% sure. The 4th and 5th one I maybe have read, and then 6, 7, and 8 definitely haven't read. So Super happy to have this. I thought that it was pretty much a crime against humanity that is this focus? That I didn't have my favorite romance of all time, which is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I read this as a library book in 2021, and it's taking me this long to pick it up, but I did get it for half off because I work at a bookstore. So that's lovely. I'm glad to have this in my hands. Definitely gonna reread this several times throughout my life. I love it so much, and it means a lot to me, and it's just a really special book for me. And then last and probably least, but still a cool book, is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I read last year and I thought was really, really good. One of my favorite Agatha Christie's. I only gave it 4 stars, which is still a great rating, but not like, you know, over the top, like, oh my god, I love this. But I just really thought that this mass market was really cute, and I've unhauled some Agatha Christie's in the past that I've had, but this one, since I like it so much and will probably forget the details of in a few years and then can reread, I thought this was a good one to buy. This was literally like $5 with my discount, so love that. Okay, I'm gonna go read and eat some Trader Joe's snacks. Bye.
Somewhere ambition, no, I don't care, I don't wanna know what the world outside is doing, 'cause it's just you and me, intertwined thread one. It's the only poison strong enough to convince me that this is real. Somewhere we've never been, stuck on a mountain down in Sheffield, running for the bus.
Okay, I'm here to do a reading update. I am 19% done with Where the Dark Stands Still. I never gave you a synopsis, so let me give you like a bare bones synopsis and then tell you what I think. So essentially, we have a young girl named Liska, and she is living in Poland in ye olden times. I think maybe like 19th or 18th century Poland, but she's like a country girl. And she is, at the very beginning of the book, she is heading into this spirit wood full of mysterious demons and creatures that she's heard about her entire life. And she is just like desperate to find this magical, she calls it a fern flower. And apparently if you find it, you get one wish. And her one wish is that she wants her magic to be taken away. Essentially, from the beginning, we know that something really bad has happened because of her magic that she doesn't have control over, and she really hates it and she just wants it to go away. And it seems like they live in a very, I mean, Poland is like an extremely Catholic, you know, society, and they've made mention of like the priests and the villagers being wary of her. And at the beginning of the book, we find out that she has been found out as having magic. My cat is here. And so that's why she's going into this forest. Hey, Mittens, what if you came over here? Come here. And essentially, when she's in this forest, she meets a demon called the Lesha. Lusha. I'm trying to pronounce the Polish words correctly. I do know like a tiny, tiny bit of Polish, but this wasn't a word I'm familiar with. You can actually look up a lot of the words that she's saying and like learn about Slavic folklore, which is really cool. Obviously, this is based on like Polish Slavic folklore. So she meets this demon and she makes a deal with him, and essentially she's going to be staying in his home in the woods for a year in order to fulfill their deal. And so it's very much giving Beauty and the Beast, like very much so, because she's in his house and it's obviously like a huge manor and it's like kind of desolate and sad, and the house itself seems to be kind of sentient, and then he is like very much, I don't want to say grumpy, but like, I mean, he's a demon. He's pretty grumpy. He's not like, I mean, this is a YA book, right? So it's not like he's this like savage, awful, murderous, like, you know, it's not as intense as like if this were an adult book, but he's not very nice. And so right now she's just like in his house doing some cleaning, finding out stuff about this world that she's in, and it's good. It's not great. I'm not loving it. I am enjoying it. I almost wish that we had had more time with her in her village at the beginning of the story, and then we had gone into these woods, because it's like literally in the first like few pages she's like, I'm going into the woods, and you're like, okay, well, who are you? Like, what are you about? I really enjoy the flashbacks to when she's in the village. Like sometimes a memory will pop up in her head and she'll go back in time, and yeah, I just really like the Polish village vibes. So I think that maybe would have made the book a little better for me, but I'm enjoying it and I'm excited to see if there's gonna be a romance. I feel like there must be a romance. He has antlers. Okay, bye. Hello, good morning. It is the next day since I last updated you. It's Thursday morning. I spent the morning finishing up preparations for a presentation I have tonight. It's actually kind of fun because I was talking about translating like children's literature. So I kind of got to do like literary analysis. It's now 11:20. I think what I'm gonna do is go to the gym and walk at an incline and read. I'm either gonna listen to an audiobook or I'm gonna take my Kindle and read a Kindle book, but I kind of struggle reading. I know a lot of people like to go on the treadmill and like read their Kindle or like a physical book, and I admire them. I'm not really good at that. So I'm actually reading a book, not for this vlog, The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, which is the 4th book in the Truly Devious series, and I am 69% through. So either way, reading will get done. When I get home, I think I'm going to do some chores. Unfortunately, I don't have the audiobook for Where the Dark Stands Still, so I'll probably be listening to this. But I will update you later when I've read more of my book that I'm actually reading for this vlog and let you know how I'm feeling. And hopefully I don't feel horrible at the gym. to admit I'm kind of bored. I don't want to be, but I am. I think I'm gonna push through just because this is for a vlog. I'm currently like 37% in, but I just find myself struggling. Like, I want to read, but I don't want to read this book. Like, I want to read a different book. But hopefully the plot will get more interesting soon, and I don't know, because like there's a lot of like references to like Polish things that like make me think of my childhood a little bit, and that's nice, and I like learning about the Polish folklore stuff, and I'm kind of waiting for the romance to start, so maybe once things kick up a bit it will be a lot better, but like I feel like 37% should be more interesting than it is, so I don't think this is gonna get a very high rating from me. Yeah. Okay, I finally finished. It's Saturday at like 4 p.m. I finally finished. This book, it makes me so sad because on paper it seems like something that I really, really would have loved. I really love kind of like cottagecore fantasy, which I would consider this to be cottagecore fantasy. I really enjoy stories based on like folklore and folk tales and legends and myths and all of that. I was really looking forward to like learning more about Polish folklore, and it was nice because a lot of the like names and words were like kind of familiar to me, like Marishenka and things like that, and it was just like kind of felt nice to be able to relate to that like a tiny bit. But oh my god, I was so bored. I literally filmed a clip yesterday for this vlog saying, hey guys, I'm gonna put this book on hold and wait for the audiobook to be available on Everend on March 12th. Today is March 9th. And then I was just like, no, I need to finish this book soon because I want it to be over, and I don't want to DNF because I want to be able to do a review on my channel. And I also don't really like DNFing arcs that I got for free because it's like, I want to read new releases. I think the reason that I was so bored during this book is that the pacing and the plotting were not well done. I think if it's marketed as like a fantasy romance, it needs to have a plot that like makes sense and like builds. And we spent so much of this book just like at this house in the forest, just like doing nothing. Even the scenes where there was action weren't particularly gripping because at that point I was just so apathetic. And it's unfortunate because I really like the writing, I like the atmosphere, I think the descriptions are great, like the setting itself is great, but that was not enough to keep me engaged. Perhaps if this were like a novella and it was just kind of like a slice of life, cozy fantasy, like that would have been fun, but it really felt like the book was trying to have an engaging plot and it just like wasn't working. And we would get like random bursts of action and then we'd go back to like this kind of flat, stagnant plot, and I was just like, oh my gosh, can we just... So at one point there was just no saving the book because of the amount of boredom that I experienced. I would literally sit down and like want to read, but my eyes could not do it. So I did something very impulsive. I paid for 2 credits on Libro FM. I don't have a subscription to that anymore, but I paid for 2 credits and I used one of them to get this book on audio so that I could finish it today because it was just like weighing on me that I like wanted to finish this book, but I couldn't imagine sitting down and reading it for the next 3 hours, like physically. And I think I need to stop reading YA fantasy. I need to stop reading it because why is Legendborn like the only YA fantasy that I like? So that is my experience with Where the Darks Stand Still. Yeah. I will let you guys know when I've chosen my next book. I'm not completely sure if I'm going to choose a new release and make this a new release reading vlog, or if I'm going to choose a book from my TBR and just have it be a reading vlog. Obviously you'll know by the title. Or I might edit this part out. But I'll get back to you when I have my next book. Okay, that was so awkward. Look what I got at work yesterday. It's a physical arc of Just for the Summer. I'm so excited. I already have this arc on my Kindle, but now that I have the physical book, it makes me even more excited. And I'm actually going to Florida next week for a vacation with my family, and I think I'm gonna read this like on the beach. I'm so excited! We're here to talk about my next book. So it's been a few days since I updated you after reading, you know, the 2.5 star book. I was not really looking forward to choosing another new release. And I was kind of like, should I just end the vlog after one book, or should I talk about the romance novel that I've been reading that isn't a new release? But I think we're gonna keep vlogging and we're gonna choose one or two new releases to finish. So here are my thoughts. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. It's kind of a similar vein to the Polish folklore novel, because this also I feel like is going to be quite cottagecore and based on like folklore and have like you know, creatures and romance. So I'm excited. This is the sequel to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This is the cute little bookmark that I get every time I order from Page's bookshop in Detroit. So if you're ever in the Detroit area, check them out. It's a cute little bookstore. This is a sequel. I actually don't really know what they're doing. I'm assuming our main characters are studying fairies in a different part of the world. I'm hoping for spring vibes. And look how beautiful this cover is. Although I would love to just sit down and start reading these books and give you an update in a few hours, I actually have a ton of school work to do. Even though I'm on spring break, I have a ton of work to do. And I'm working a lot this weekend, so God knows when this is all gonna get done. So I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea and do a lot of homework. And then in the evening, if I've accomplished a lot, I will get to read this lovely book, hopefully. I am on page 46 of Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think Heather Fawcett does such a good job at writing like whimsical, light academia. I love that these books have like footnotes about fairy facts, and we learn about like fictional scholars who have done work in the field of, I think it's called like dryadology, which is like, you know, the study of fairies and fae creatures, which I guess are just fairies. And I don't know, it's just, it's so nerdy and it's so whimsical and cottagecore. And in the beginning of this book, we're actually at Cambridge, and obviously it's, you know, Cambridge with some fiction because there's like a dryadology department and, you know, magic is real. So, but I really love all of the descriptions. I love that Heather Fawcett includes words that I have to look up, and then once I've looked them up, I feel a little bit smarter, and I just think that she is so smart. And it's not a book that feels smart in a way that's like annoying, and I mean, it is pretentious, but only in like a fun way, just because like they're studying fairies, you know, like how pretentious can you really get? And this book, honestly, I think I might like this better than the first one, because already we've had some fun like hijinks, and on the back it says that they're going to be, you know, going elsewhere to study some fairies and do some things. So we're not only going to be in Cambridge. So I'm super excited. If you haven't read the first one, it's a very snowy book. So if you care about like seasonal reads, I would highly recommend reading that in like a cold part of the year. But if you don't care, then just read it because it's really good. And I will probably just update you when I'm finished, but I have high hopes. I am really enjoying getting back into this world. Oh, hello. Haven't talked to you guys in a while. I'm not done with Emily Wilde yet, but I thought I would do a quick Target haul because I love seeing what people buy in vlogs, and so why not do it myself? So I've been on a smoothie kick recently, so I got this big bag of pineapple, strawberries, mango, and peaches. Bananas, because I like the texture that bananas add to smoothies. And then some yogurt. I'm going to Florida at the end of the week, so I don't want to like waste a bunch of yogurt. Okay, and then we have some clothes. So I got this oversized striped greenish, bluish, mostly green shirt because I like the vibe, and I don't have a lot of things that I like that aren't sweaters, and it's almost springtime and I can't wear sweaters to work every day. I really like these ribbed, I don't know if you can see the ribbing, but these like ribbed t-shirts. So I got this shade in blue. I was kind of limited by what they had in my size, but I really love this color. I love a purple. So those will be nice to wear on warm days to work. And then I got a cute pair of elastic pants. That's the vibe. Can definitely wear these to work, and actually I think these two go together pretty well, so that's fun. I got B12 supplements because these are the only supplements that I actually can make myself take because they're gummies, and I get Charlie horses if I don't take them. Makeup wipes. I'm trying not to use makeup wipes because they're very wasteful, but I'm going to Florida and it's just easier to have makeup wipes when traveling than to bring like washcloths and micellar water, you know. It's Mittens. You're so cute. She's so adorable. Oh my goodness. You're so cute, Miss Mittens. Okay, you can go down. Okay, I got hair products. Now, you might be thinking, Angela, do you know how to properly use these curl products? Do you have the little brush that people use to like form their curls. No, but I will get that brush soon. But for now, I got Miss Jessie's Quick Curls, which is a curl cream, and it says wavy on it, which I do have wavy curly hair. On a good day it's curly, on a bad day it's wavy or barely wavy if it's brushed out. I've been brushing my hair out a lot lately because I ran out of products, so I've just been brushing it out. I got Kristen S Volumizing Mousse because mousse is a thing that people use. Leave-in conditioner, which I do use and I'm running out of. And then the thing that I am the least confident about is the Shea Moisture Defining Styling Gel. I'm not sure if this is going to work with my hair type, but I used to use men's hair gel to define my curls when I was first discovering that I had curly hair in like 6th grade. And although the texture of my hair was completely hard because of the gel, it actually looked pretty good. So it says thick curly hair. I do have thick curly hair, I guess. So there you go. That is my Target haul. Thank you for watching. I would love to come on here and say that I loved this book and that it was amazing and that I'm so glad that I read it and it's a new favorite, but unfortunately this one was not as engaging and entertaining and enchanting as the first book in the series, which I gave 4.5 stars, and this book I'm going to give 3.5 stars. I thought that the beginning was really good and really promising. I think I almost would have preferred if we had spent more time at Cambridge, but we quickly left Cambridge and kind of went to Austria to solve a certain fairy mystery that Emily and Wendell are trying to solve and do research and, you know, collect as much information that they can about the local fairy creatures. And I just didn't really like the plot. I didn't like the pacing. I was decently bored when we were in Austria. I just don't think that there was enough, I don't know, I was bored. I think the novelty of the first one wasn't here, and so it felt very much just like reading a different version of the fourth book, or of the first book, but I didn't like it as much. It felt very similar to the first one in terms of like sort of the plot beats and like what was going on, which I don't think is a negative thing. Like, I think it makes sense that the second book would be focused on, you know, research, and that there would be some adventures and we would meet fairies. Like, it follows logically that they would be very similar. But for me, I was bored, and I think the boredom comes down to the plotting and the pacing. Similar to like Where the Dark Stands Still, I was just like, the writing and the atmosphere weren't enough to hold my attention. And I do really love the writing. The writing in here is much better than in Where the Dark Stands Still. Like, I much prefer this writing. And I almost feel like I don't like Emily as much as maybe I'm supposed to like her. I didn't feel that way in the first book, but maybe something about Emily as the narrator didn't fully entertain me. So just something in here was missing for me. 3.5 stars is still a good rating. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, but there were moments where I was bored and not quite feeling it. So I think a 3.5 is a pretty accurate description of my feelings. I think it was a full star less enjoyable than the first book, and definitely a lot more enjoyable than the first book I read in this vlog. So that is going to be the end of this vlog where I ended up reading 2 whimsical cottagecore fantasy releases that are about, you know, creatures and forests and mushrooms. It's kind of a coincidence that I chose both of these books. Neither of them were a huge success, but that's okay. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!